welcome to the Digital Communication Network podcast about the way coronavirus had an impact on digitalization around the world and on Ukraine. Today we have a wonderful guest with us, Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation, Valeriya Ionan. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for invitation.
My first question, since we are researching and investigating how coronavirus had an impact on working habits of people, of companies, of people from the governmental sector, from NGO sector, can you tell me from your perspective, what kind of impact and influence coronavirus had on Ukrainian situation?
Well, I think it is very important to make an emphasis that speaking about digital literacy at all, nobody worked with this sphere in Ukraine before Ministry of Digital Transformation was inaugurated. As you may know, the Ministry of Digital Transformation was inaugurated last year in the beginning of September. So we are a young ministry. We're only 7 months old. And we have 4 main goals, one of which is to teach 6 million of Ukrainian people with digital skills in 3 years. So the first thing that we have done last year is we have done a research on the level of digital literacy of Ukrainians throughout the Ukraine. And we've got our first figures. The first one was that 53% of Ukrainian people have digital skills lower than basic level, and 15% out of them do not have any digital skills at all. 47% of Ukrainian people who are majorly young professionals really see the importance of learning digital skills, because they want to be competitive in a modern world, and they see that how digital skills can help them to get better profession and to get to feel themselves more confident in this turbulent world. So to achieve the goal that we have to teach those 6 million of Ukrainian people, we have started a project which is called DIA, Цифрова освіта, that is translated like digital competence, education with digital skills. And the project has 2 parts. The first part is the online platform that was launched in January of 2020. And we are shooting different educational programs since January, which are free for every Ukrainian. So the idea of the learning process is actually to make to make series in edutainment format. You know that education goes for actually some hardcore knowledge, and entertainment means that the knowledge that the student gets during the learning process should be interesting, and the process itself should be very engaging. So we have 13 educational courses, and we have 200,000 of Ukrainian people who have already got the certificates on our platform actually. And answering your question regarding the coronavirus impact on that, I can say that we really feel it a lot, because, for example, if we will look to the statistics, in February we had only 36,000 of people who were learning on our platform, and yesterday we've got 200,000. And we understand that during the coronavirus we had to launch some programs that we didn't plan to launch so fast. For example, there were programs for teachers regarding the distance learning process and distance learning services that could help them to build the educational process with students, with parents, and with school administration more efficient. Also, we have launched a couple of courses regarding the sorry, forgot the word in English. Аппараты ШВЛ, искусственной вентиляции легких.
Yeah, inhaling, breathing machines.
Okay.
Да, что-то такое. Lung machines.
Okay, so this may be the special medical equipment that is necessary to that is necessary during the process of healthcare when a person has been infected with coronavirus, for example. Mm-hmm. And a lot of other courses. So this is like the first part of the project, the online platform. And the second part of the project is dedicated to give a chance to, and to give not a chance, to give an opportunity to those people who do not have an internet access at home, or who do not have any digital gadgets like laptops or tablets or something, to actually get an opportunity to learn digital skills. And for that, we are making an offline network of partners, including libraries, centers for public administration services, schools and universities, and private sector, where every Ukrainian can go and can use actually the service of the internet and the digital equipment to learn digital skills.
For the moment, what is the outreach of this effect? How many people have you targeted already? For those who didn't have access to digital tools before, or didn't have literacy to use them?
I do not have these statistics right now, because we have started to build this network in February, actually. So in March, before the quarantine have started, we had 1,300 libraries who have joined to our network. And we definitely know that in those libraries there were students, but we did not see the statistics yet, because when we have started to build this system to get the statistics from them, quarantine started. And that's why we do not have the very specific figures right now. But however, we understand that all of those people who came to the libraries in February, they actually have used the platform, and that means that they are in this total figure of 200,000 Ukrainian people.
I see. One question that also comes from your answer. I would like to ask you, I don't know whether you have those statistics, or maybe you can give just an estimate. How hard did coronavirus hit the employment of Ukraine? Because there are a lot of industries and a lot of, maybe age groups of people that couldn't afford going on a distant working. How hard did it hit it? And how are you trying to solve them by providing new skills for people maybe to shift to other jobs, or to go on another level of working from home?
I don't have these figures, because for these figures are responsible Ministry of Economy of Ukraine, and also the Center for the State Center of Employment. Mm-hmm. So they have, I believe that they have the fresh statistics. However, it changes like a day from a day. And you know that there are different figures regarding, for example, entrepreneurship, regarding IT sector, and so on. But I can say that we from our side understand this problem, and that's why we are launching new programs which are accessible to anyone who wants to get a new profession. And those courses are also already available on our platform. For example, one of those courses is about how to find a job for a person of the third age. So, for example, people who have lost their work and they had to work in the same place, for example, for 10 or 15 years, and suddenly they had to leave the work, and they do not have any basic digital skills, and they do not know how to find work, and they do not know how to prepare the CV and how to make a cover letter, and all of these things that for us might sound very like basic skills. They do not have them. And for them, we already have such a course, and there are very good figures of the quantity of students who have already passed. Also, we have, and we are planning to launch a couple of new educational series regarding new digital professions, on artificial intelligence, on web development, on social media, targeting, and other things that will be also available to everyone.
How can you tell, how do you think Ukraine is prepared to be called a country, a digital country? Or how can you evaluate the level of digitalization in this country for the moment? And what do you want to achieve in the next few months or years?
Okay, so thank you for the question. It is a very interesting one. I believe that this is the best time for Ukraine to start being digitalized totally. And actually, like I don't even know what time was better for it. So that's why Ministry of Digital Transformation was formed. We have a very we have four main goals for the next 3 years. The first one is to make 100% of public services available online. The second one is to cover all the Ukraine with an internet access. The third one is to teach 6 million of Ukrainian people with digital skills. And the fourth one is to increase the level of IT in GDP of Ukraine up to 10%, meaning growing IT industry. So all these four goals, they actually make an ecosystem, and they will help Ukraine to be digitalized totally. There are also a lot of other things that are already in process. Maybe you already know that we have a plan that in every ministry and in every ministry will be a chief digital officer who will be responsible for digitalization of the concrete sphere. So we have already started working in this direction also. I believe that Ukraine has all the chances to be in the top list of the most digitalized countries in the world. Of course, we are facing a lot of challenges right now, because in order to be digitalized, you have to have something to be digitalized. And if there is no business process which is working efficiently, it's a little bit hard to digitalize something that does not exist. So in some cases, we even, let's say, intrude into the processes to help build them more efficiently. And that is better for us, because then we know how to digitalize all of the processes. There are a lot of different cases like that. So I strongly believe that in 3 years, we will have a lot of things digitalized, and Ukraine will be a very comfortable country to live in.
And the audience, how do they react to those digital projects, to those new trends, new formats that are being used? For instance, we are also researching the impact of influencers, of digital influencers, on the opinions of the population. Maybe you can give me an example of some of the case studies, or like campaigns or digital projects that stand out in your mind as an example that have been used in Ukraine in the past few weeks, or maybe 2 months during the coronavirus outbreak, that you might give as an example for this?
Okay, so you mean by digital projects that were done by our ministry, or generally?
Generally speaking, digital influencers, those who are, conveying messages to the population, and the level of acceptance from the population. How do they perceive those messages?
Well, that's a good question, actually, because there are a lot of digital influencers in Ukraine from different spheres. Well, I can name, for example, Vitaly Goncharuk, who is like the main guru for artificial intelligence in Ukraine. I can name a lot of entrepreneurs who represent small and medium businesses who have changed their business models or who had to switch from offline to online business. A lot of businesses who have launched new products online, like, you know, that, for example, some of the restaurants, they do not do only the delivery, but they have started to prepare special boxes like for cooking. So they are trying to make new products to save their businesses. So like there are plenty of them. I can even prepare the list. Speaking about how people react to digital projects, you might know that we as a ministry have launched a couple of those projects. The first one is DIA app, which gives you an opportunity to see the documents in smartphone. The second one is the portal or the platform for public services online, DIA.gov.ua. The third one is the project which I am leading, is about digital education and digital skills. And the fourth one is a business DIA.gov.ua. It's the project for the development of small and medium enterprises. And generally, the audience divides into two parts. The first one who supports those changes, who are those innovators, you know, that who are downloading the app, like the first ones, and then they starting to tell everyone, and they are becoming our ambassadors on how it's cool, and you have to try also. And the second part, unfortunately, some of the people, like Ukrainians generally, do not have a very low level of trust to government. And we understand why it happens, because during the past years, there were no so much very successful cases. And it is very important to return the trust of Ukrainian people. And a lot of Ukrainians see in every project some, you know, some possible problem that even might not exist. And I think it has to take some time for Ukrainian people to believe that real positive changes can happen. And we as a ministry only can rush this process with making our projects more effective and more accessible to everyone.
Thank you so much for a great interview and great replies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.